Okay, so this one is on the multiplying part. So let me just get everything ready. Uh-oh. All right, so here we go. So again, you're literally just reviewing, you know, uh, how to work the numbers in terms of multiplying, dividing, the little adjustments that you have to make. Um, so Carolyn buys a car for which she makes car payments. So she makes car payment $243.56. She pays that every month for 5 years. So how much did she pay for the car? Well, 1 year has 12 months. So 5 years would be 5 times 12, which give you 60 months. So she made these payments for 60 months. I'm going to put 60 over here and I'll multiply. All right, so I don't know how you guys do it, but short way, the zero, I'll just put a zero over here and then I'll start multiplying with 6. So 0 goes down because there's no point of doing 0 times 0 times 0 times 0. So 6 times 6 is 36, goes 3 is 30, 30, 33 goes 3, 18, 21 goes 2, 24, 26. And hopefully I'm correct. And there's 2 decimal places here, so this number has, remember you gotta count 2 decimal places. This one has none, so there's a total of 2 decimal places in total that I have to match in my answer. So in my answer I'm gonna have 1, 2, and I'll put the decimal right here. So the total value of the car was 14,613.60. That was easy. So again, same thing, but instead of 2 years, he makes it 5 years. He makes it for 2 years, and then 2 years, you gotta know that in 2 years there is 24 months. So I'm gonna multiply 698, and again, you're just working on procedure here times 24. Okay, so there's 2 decimal places here. There is none, so there's a total of 2 decimal places combined in both of these numbers. So that's what my answer has to have, 2 decimal places. So I'm going to change colors. 4 times 4, so I'm really going to do this fast. 16, 4 times 4, 16, 36, 37. That goes 3, 35, goes 3 again, 39, and then 3, 27. Make sure you put a 0 to shift 1 over. 2 times 4 is 8, 18, 17, 18 again, and then 13. So we're going to add. So 6 and 0 is 6. 7 plus 8 is 15. Carry the 1. 13, 14, go 1, 17. Goes 1 again. 16, and then 6, and then 1. So 2 decimal places. We're going to put a decimal right here. So this car is $16,674.56. So this one is $56.87 per week that they pay for this advertising in newspaper. So at 1 week is $56.87. 2 weeks would be double that, and then in 1 week we have 52 weeks, right? So if he does it for 1 year, let's see how much he has to pay. 14, 17, 13, 11. 0. 5 times 5 is 35. 43 goes 4. 34 goes 3. 28. Sorry, I forgot to do this. There is 2 decimal places here. And there's a total of 2 decimal places. Because there's no decimal places in the 52. So adding that up, I get 4. 7 plus 5 is 12. Carry the 1. That's 7, 5, 9, 2. 2 decimal places. 1, 2. So it's going to be 1, 2. So how much does he pay per year? $2,957.24. 4. Linda pays $24, and again, same thing, same idea. She pays $24.86 per week because there's 52 weeks in the year. We're going to multiply that by 52. So times 52. 4, 16, 9, 4 with a 0. 10, 41 goes 4 is 24, goes 2, we're going to get 12. So we're going to add this up. We're going to get 4, 6, 10, a 9, and a 12. How many decimal places? I keep forgetting to do that. So there's 2 decimal places over here. There's 0 decimal place over here. So total is just 2 decimal places. So my answer, it's going to have 1, 2. So here, 1, 2. Final answer, 1,290 and 64 cents. 5. There's a little division here. So 1 pencil is $1.15. How many can you buy with $41.40? Set your problem up. I'm going to divide by $1.15. Oh, I hate that my pen's not working. I'm going to remember shift the decimal 2 over. 1, 2. Shift this inside. 1, 2. So my new division problem looks like 4,140 divide by 115. So 115 goes into 440 3 times. And that's going to give us 345. Subtract. Borrowing over here, so it's going to become a 10, it's going to be 14, 9, 6, 690. Can 115 go 690, can go 6 times. Really? Right now, 6 times is 30. Yeah, 6 times. It's going to be 690. So how many pencils can I buy, or he buy, that she buy? 32 pencils with $41. Alfred pays $1.75 per day for his commute. If he uses $591.50, how many days does she plan on commuting? A lot of days. So it's going to be 591.50 divided by 1.75. Let's shift this 2 over. Let's shift this 2 over. So it becomes 175. I'm going to do 599. It's going to see how many times. 59,000. So let's divide this. And I have no idea what the numbers going to look like. I used to have a phone. So we're going to divide that, and it's going to be exactly 338. So 300. 525. Subtract becomes 8. 11 is going to 6. And 8 minus 2 is, what's 8 minus 2? 6, 5. And we're going to go 3 times again. It's going to be 525. We're going to have 1, 4, 0, 0. Bring that 0 down. 1,440, and that's going to be 8 times. And that's going to give us 1,400 even. Subtract. So final answer, he can commute for 338 days, almost a year. 7. Now these questions you should pay attention to. So a farmer sold 3/5 of his 56.5 tons of hay. How many tons of hay did he have to sell? So how much? So if you think about it, he had 56, and I'm going to write that as 56.5 tons. Right, so let's divide his hay into 5 pieces here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he sold this, he sold this, and he sold this. So we want to know how much did he sell. Well, if the total is 56.5, we can just divide this into 3, right? So this one's actually, just divide this by 3, and that would solve our problems. 3/5. Now, the problem is 56.5 divided by 3/5. Actually, you know what? It's up to you. If you do it as a decimal, you're gonna change 3/5 to 0.6. You can divide. If you want to do it as a fraction, you can just change this to an improper fraction and then change the division to multiplication and make sure to use a reciprocal 3/5, which is 5/3. The choice is yours. Let's do it both ways. So 56 times 2 is 112, so it's going to be 113 divided by 2 times, I'm going to change this to 5/3. It's going to get us a mixed number. So 2 times 3 is 6, up to 1 is 6, and then on top it's going to be 565 divided by 6, which is what I had here. So I'm just going to maybe move this 1 over, which is 6. And this is going to be moved 1 over, which is going to be 565. You have to simplify now, right? That's where you are in the fraction format. And over here, 6 goes to 56 9 times, which is 54. 6 minus 4 is 2. 5 comes down. 6 goes to 25 4 times, which is 24. 1 left over. Let's put a decimal over here. I'll just bring a 0 down. So 6 goes into 10 one time. Actually, you know what? I'm going to stop. The 1 left over. I'm going to change this to a mixed number. So 6 goes into 565 94 times. And you have 1 out of 6. I can't. It's just very difficult to do this when the pen is not working. But the answer is 94 and 1/6. No, it's not. It's definitely not. Hang on a second. What am I doing wrong? 3/5 is 0.4. Yeah, it's 0.6. 56.5. 25, 24. It's not 94 now. It's 3/5. What did I do wrong? I divided. Yeah, a second. Just 1 second. Why am I dividing? First of all, what I should have done was this: 3/5 times 56.5. That's what I should have done. Why am I dividing? Because 3/5 is this. Of in math means multiplication, and 56. So if you take 3/5 of 56.5, if you multiply it, because you're taking part of this 56.5, in this case 3/5 of it, you'll get your answer. So I don't know why I was dividing. But it's 3/5 times, and let's change that to an improper fraction, which is going to be 113 over 5. 2 times 56 is 112 plus 1, 113. Can I simplify anything? No. At the bottom I get 25. On the top I'm going to get 339, which if I divide by 25, we can find out how much tons of hay he sold. So 339 divided by 25 is 125, which is 89, which is 7. That also doesn't make sense. There's something wrong here. 5 times 5 is 25. 3, 9, 3, 3. Oh my god. Hopefully you caught the mistake. So this is completely wrong. It's 3/5 times 56.5. There's my mistake. So it's 3/5 times 2 times 56 is 112 plus 113 over 2. I made it over 5. So this is 339 divided by 10. 10 goes in 339 33 times, and 9 tenths. So that's my answer. Wow, talk about making a mess out of this question. Sorry. 8. Same type of question. So again, if you set this problem up, you should write 3/4. 3/4 of something, right? Of means multiply. And we're going to write 120 and 2/3. Now, when we multiply, we got to change the mixed number to an improper fraction. 3 times 120 is 360 plus 2, so it's 362 over 3. Can we simplify? Yes, we can. We can simplify these two. Become 1 and 1. I can divide, no, I can't. I can divide this, well, I'm just going to multiply. So it's 362 divided by 4. So 362 divided by 4 is going to be, again, we can do that here. 362 divided by 4 is going to be 9, which is 36. Bring 2 down. 9 can't go in, so I'm going to add a decimal and a decimal here and a 0. Now we can bring a decimal down, and 4 divided by 20, 20 divided by 4 is 5. So it's going to even out. So final answer is 90.5. Number 9. How many more are there? Oh, quite a few. 9. The value of the land in small town is $12,500 per acre. Small parcel of a lot is to be purchased by the town for road improvement. If the size of the parcel is 3/4, how much should the town pay on the other? So, a whole lot. Imagine this, a whole lot. This whole thing is $12,500. Okay, but they're only buying a very tiny 3. So imagine I cut this into 40 pieces and I shade in 3. Right, 3 parts. How much would that be? Well, it's not going to be 12,500. It's going to be a part of 12,500. So it's 3/40 of, which means multiplication, 12,500. So now we just got to multiply. All right, let's put this over 1. I can simplify this a little bit. I'll take 1 0 from here. Divide by 10. I'm going to divide by 10 on top. I can also, well, probably much easier just to multiply. So at the bottom I get 4. On the top I'm going to get 3,750. So if I divide those two, and you can divide on a piece of paper, you're going to get that it's going to be 937.5. That's how much they're going to pay for this tiny piece. So again, the same idea. It's 1 1/3 of, which means multiply 48,000. Okay, so that should be your expression. Change this to an improper. 3 times 1. 3 times 1 is 3 plus 1 is 3. Now get 4/3 times 48,000. So you're going to obviously get an answer that's going to be a little bit bigger than 48,000. because you're one acre, one part of land is 48,000. But Ross here wants to buy one big acre of land plus 1/3 of the next one. So it's going to be 48,000 plus a little bit more. So your answer should be that. We can simplify. 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 48,000 divided by 3 is 16,000. And now we can just multiply across, and we're going to get that 4 times 16,000, 64,000. You can do that in your head. So you get 64,000 as your total. That's how much 1 1/3 acres of land would cost. This one, I'm just going to write the expression out. So he buys a snowmobile, he's going to make equal payments. So how much will he pay every month? So I'm going to let you figure that out. And he pays it in 2 years every month. So there's 24 months in 2 years. Right? So you can just divide that out. Make sure you have, it's going to give you $132.50. That's how much he pays per month. 12. Okay, the same idea. You borrow money, this much money, and you got to pay your aunt back in 5 years. And how much would you pay every month to your aunt? Well, it's going to be 13,707. 5 years has 60 months. You can divide this by 60. And every month you're going to give your auntie $228.45. So this one I'm going to draw it out because I think it's easier for you to understand. 1/6. So imagine your great-great-grandfather leaves you this land here. Has a huge piece of land, but there's 6 grandnephews, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And everybody's going to get a piece. And this one piece over here, it's worth 12,846. Right? Assuming they're all the same size and everything. If you all combine all your parts, right? Because every nephew is going to earn 12,846. Not earn, but inherit. Well, this is just a simple multiplication problem. So if every grandnephew gets that, and we multiply this by 6, we can figure out how much Grandpa had to give out to begin with. Which means he had $77,000.76. Okay, which was divided into 6 people. So 14. Actually, I think I already made a video on this. Let me just pause this for a second. Oh my god, it's killing me. I'm just going to continue. So again, here we have a vineyard, right? And something that's... So if you want to divide, I want to divide this in 15 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I'm going to shade 4 them. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I know that this is worth 68,452. So I know the 4/5 of it, right? 4 pieces out of the 15. These 4 pieces together is worth 68,452. So we want to know what's the price of the whole vineyard, right? So let's find out how much one piece is. So we can divide 68,452 divide by 4, right? Because that's going to give us the price of one of these pieces here, right? So I know 4 of those pieces equals 68,000. So if I divide that by 4, I'm going to get that each piece over there is 17,000. 17,113. That's how much one of these is equal to. 113. Now, because there's 15 of them, all you have to do is multiply 17,113 times 15. And you get your final answer of 256,695. That's your final answer. 15 is very similar. So it says here's your phone bill. This is your whole phone bill. And it says that, let me divide that into eighths, by the way. And here's your phone bill divided in eighth parts. So this much of your phone bill, 3/8 of this, I can tell you that is $726. So from here all the way to here. So part of your phone bill, 3/8 of your phone bill is $726. They're asking you how much was it total. Well, if I know that these 3 parts, 3/8 of my phone bill is 726, I can divide 726 divided by 3. And that's going to give me the price of 1/8 of my phone bill. And it says that it equals to 242. If that's 242, this is 242, and that's 242 because they all add up to 726. But then, since I know what each part is, and this is one, they're all eighths, everything. This is 242, this is 242, this is 242, this is 242, this is 242. So everything is 242, right? Because they're all, every part's the same. So we just end up multiplying 242 times 8, and you're going to see what your phone bill was, which is 1,936. That's a big phone bill. Actually, yeah, that's how much it costs. 16 has the same idea. And I'll just do it quickly. So Mary has house expenses, right? So again, her house expenses divided into 8 parts. And some of the house expenses, she can use it to write off taxes. So she says here that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This much of her taxes is equal to 5,840 up to here. So 5/8 of her household expenses equals 5,840. So these 5 parts together gives you 5,840. Can we find out how much this one part is? Because once I know one, I know all the rest, right? So it's 5,840 divided by 5. And that's going to give us that 1,168. So each part is 1,168. Okay, so if I know that one part is 1,668, all I gotta do is multiply it by 8 and I can find the total amount. So 1,168 times 8, times 8, and that's gonna give us that the total amount that she spent last year is 9,344. 17, well, this is a stock question. So imagine you have 120 shares of a stock, 120. Okay, and that stock loses value every day. How much is he losing every day? $14.03 of a 100ths of a dollar. Sorry. So if I have 120 shares and they're losing value every day, so each of these 100 shares is going to lose 14 and 3/8. Let's kind of multiply to see how much I lose. So let me just change this to an improper fraction. 14 times 8 is 112, so it's going to be 112 times plus 3, 115 over 8. I can multiply now, or simplify. Can 120 divided, can I divide 120 by 8? I can, it's 15, so 8 divided by 8 1, 120 is 15, and 115 times 115 is going to give us 1,725. So in one day, that's how much you would lose if you had 120 shares of that stock. Oof, that's a bad day. On the other hand, if you have 480 shares and your share goes up by, each of your share goes up by 5 3/4, which I'm going to change to 5.75, you are going to make a good chunk of money. So you have 480 shares, and each of those shares go up by 5.75. You end up making $2,760 that day. That's a very good day. I'll stop here.